Words matter.
Welcome to Words Matter Pod with the Kill Pinnacle podcast dedicated to wordsmiths. I'm here with photographer Nehemiah Brent. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Man, it's a nice hot day. You know,
I don't know about nice.
it's calm. It's not as like it was like the last like couple of days. Like I was with my girlfriend, and I was like every time I like leave her house,
Move the mic a little closer to you.
Like a little closer. So every time I like leave her house to like go to like a little food spot like down the street, I'd be like, yo, it's so hot, like humid. It just get me tight, like, and then like people would walk by me. I just get so frustrated. I'm like, bro, how are you guys outside? And what get me tight about the heat the most is when people wear shit that is like meant to be for like winter time. You be seeing people in like sweaters. I'm like, bro, it's desk like 90 degrees outside. Why are you wearing this? This shit was getting me so tight. But yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm just happy I woke up this morning and just get to experience another day. All the people around me who love me and just say yeah, man. But how are you, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to have you here. A lot of people may not notice, but Nehemiah did the shoot for the Words Matter Network website. So you go on that website, you'll see his shots and, you know, what he brings out the best of you and, you know, visually in these pictures. And we'll get into that in this interview. So who are you?
My name is Nehemiah Brent. I was born in Liberia. But then I moved to Massachusetts when I was like 6 months old. So yeah, escaped the Civil War with my family, you know. Wow. And then just like I was in Mass my whole life, basically. Went to UMass Amherst where I met you. And then like I went to school for like kinesiology. That's why I ended up getting my degree in. But I didn't really care to do it. Like during the time I was doing kinesiology, I like taught myself how to do photography as like a hobby. But during that time, I got like really good at it. So I was like, you know what? Let me move to New York. I had my cousin was living out here at one point, and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna move out there. And so when I moved out here, I just kind of just like off like the connections I made off of him or just like the other friends I have who are out here. I just kind of just been going off of that, and I'm here now. And at first it feels surreal because like I definitely didn't think I was gonna end up here. There was not one point, and like if you told me like 5 years ago I'd be living in New York as a photographer, I would have told you you're crazy. But here I am, so I'm happy, man.
Yeah. And then, you know, when and where does your story start as a photographer? Because you're from Massachusetts, you're born in Liberia, but you know, when you were studying kinesiology, what made you say I'm gonna pick up a microphone? What made you say I'm gonna pick up a camera? Sorry.
So basically, I first went to UMass Amherst for like computer science. I was like on the the undeclared track where it's like you don't have a major but you're just taking like those like the courses as if you wanted to go into the major. I did that for like a semester or two, and that shit was hell. So I went to my sophomore year. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do electrical engineering. Man, that was a terrible time. Like I was so like depressed, just like all this math and then just all this other technical shit. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of it. And then I was actually gonna leave UMass Amherst and just go back home to Lynn, Mass, and go to like Salem State. But then I was like, you know what? I already paid so much money to be here. Also, it's just like I don't want to have to go through this whole application process again. So I was like, I'll stick it through. I'll just change my major. And so like going into junior year, I changed my major to kinesiology because I liked the whole like the premise of it. Like I just enjoyed all that stuff. But also, it's just like I also had all like I didn't have like me being kinesiology. I wasn't gonna have to stay like an extra year. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, but doing that like and just like learning from like the whole time I've just like been at that school. I was like, I've just been doing nothing but like schoolwork. I feel like having a hobby would just make this whole experience go a little bit smoother for me, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm going to pick up a camera. And at first I was just doing like just shooting whatever. And I even got like one of my homies from school. He helped me get a job on campus for like the student organization. I was like their designated like event photographer. So like I would just be shooting other events for like other student orgs. So they would just come to our like organization, but we needed pictures, and they'll come to me like, would you shoot this event? So I was doing that, but then I was like, I should actually want to shoot like more with people. And so like my whole thing at first was just like kind of shooting people. So I wanted to show people like everybody has like that, like a beauty inside of them. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? It was just like, I was like, yo, like not everyone like even thinks they're picture worthy, which is like bullshit to me. I feel like everyone's like picture worthy. It's just like you just need that right person to capture that. So yeah, that's really what that was, and then like it just progressed into like what it is now. Just like I like doing a lot more portrait stuff. I love doing editorial stuff like that. I like shooting like all this creative things for people. So like I'm having a great time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is there a background in your family of anyone who did photography or any creativity?
Nah, not that I know of at least. Yeah. Everyone is either like a nurse or just like they do like something like in like technical or something like that. I think I was like the first person who was just like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm like the only one. And like it's nice because I mean in the future when all the other generations they'll be like, yo, I want to do this creative stuff. They'll be like, Uncle Nehemiah, he did it, so I think I can do it. So I'm like, yeah, you can. Like obviously you can. You just have to put in the work. It's hard. Like what I will say is that the creative route like is so annoying, but it is definitely taxing because just like the shit you go through, just like dealing with like certain people or just like just realizing like how like this is a journey. So you just like there's definitely going to be like these ups and downs, but like as long as you're consistent and you keep being genuine, you meet the right people and they will help you get to like where you need to be. So it's definitely rewarding. I would definitely say that there's definitely been some rewarding factors to it. So I'm just like happy. Like I feel like I'm on the right path and I'm like continuing to be on the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, cameras have been such a common tool in human experience, and everyone uses cameras on a regular basis, and we had access to high quality photography and videography on our phones for over a decade now. Mm-hmm. What inside of you made you want to pick up a camera and pursue photography professionally?
Honestly,
compared to the average person who picks up a camera just for leisure.
Honestly, I think what it really was at first I wanted to be a stylist because I always love fashion. I thought it was like just like something cool. But then like I realized that like I'm not consistent with like just like either trying to be fashionable or just like I kind of learned early what stylists go through.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I have a big appreciation for all the stylists I've worked with because I'm just like, I just know you guys go through hell and you guys deliver like the absolute best. But also like I was in Western Mass, bro. There was no bro, everyone was either wearing like it's like all like the little cargo shorts and like the khakis or like the Sperry's and shit. Like, and if people weren't really like dressing like that, so I was like, I'll pick up a camera. Like, I'd rather just capture it then. So I feel like that would just be like a alternative for me. And so I was like, all right, I can learn this, and like it seems very simple enough. And I think I was just and like even then, like I think another part of it was just like another part of it was just like I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, like I love music.
Yeah.
I love concerts and stuff like that. So that was another part of it. So when I was starting out, I was like, oh, I want to do like music. I want to be like a music photographer. So that like it was definitely one of those things where I was just like, like I could shoot all these shows for free. And I could shoot all these shows and I could go watch a concert for
free.
For free. Like, so I was like, that was just like another way to do certain things like that. So I was like, that seems easy enough. And so like even at school when they had all these events, like these artists come to perform at our school, I was like, oh, I can go do that and go to a free concert. So I've been able to go to a pretty like fair amount of concerts where I get to shoot for free. But nowadays I don't do too much concert photography unless I'm really asked, or like if I have like a friend who's performing, I'm like, yo, I can go take some pictures for you just so you can take pictures and stuff like that. Because I just like I know like a lot of art, like my friends who are artists, like they don't have like they're still in like the come up, so it's like they need those like pictures. So I'm like, I got you, I'll take some pictures for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, so yeah.
The style of let's talk a little bit about the style of photography that you have because you use a lot of colors and I would say I don't really know terms as well, but a lot of saturation. I don't know if that's maybe because you shoot a lot with film instead of digital.
So I honestly, that's a good question because I've been trying to I'm always trying to like find like a medium like just level where I could just like it's like it's like yeah I'm not trying to do too much, but I'm not trying to do too little. And I've been trying to like get like a balance of that. So like so okay, first and foremost, I started in 2016 and I was been shooting digital for that whole time. And yeah, and I think in 2019 I started doing film because I was getting bored with the digital because I was like, yo, I feel like all the ideas I want to do would look so much better in film. And once when I switched over, like when I started learning more film, I was right. I was like, this is definitely how I want it to look. But honestly, a lot of it being like so colorful is just because like the artists who I was like inspired by. So just be like, I know like my favorite photographer of all time, her name is Renelle Madrano. She is an amazing photographer from the Bronx. And like I remember, like she was even one of the main.
She shot the cover for Kendrick's album.
Yeah, like honestly, since I started like seeing her work in like 2017, I was just like, yo, I've been inspired like by you for so long, and just seeing where she's gotten, I was just like, I'm just so proud of her because it's like that's amazing, like, but it's just amazing to see what like hard work can like just like consistency can like bring you, you know. But also just like it just continues to inspire me because like I love the colors that she uses and just like everything just it looks so intimate and like that's what I want my work to feel like. When you look at it, you're like, yo, I want you to feel something when you look at this work.
Warm. Yeah,
just something warm. You're just like, yo, this is just amazing. So yeah, that's like where all the colors even like come from to like all the artists who I see. Like I'm like, oh, this is like nicely saturated. It's not too much. It's just perfect amount to like bring about like the right like emotions that you're trying to like convey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really what it is.
Do you also bring that out through editing?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely say that there are a lot there. I will say that a lot of the photos where people loved from that they've seen from me, I will definitely say that. I will definitely say that like like it's definitely the editing because I remember there's some things where I'm just like, yo, I shot this. I'm like, this is so terrible. I'm like, but then I edited it and I'm like, yo, this is like one of the best pictures I've ever made. I'm like, wow. Like either it was just like either overexposed or really underexposed. I went into like the editing and I was like, yeah, this is actually perfect now. So yeah. There are some photos. There's like one of my favorite photos I've done. One of my favorite photos I've ever done was this one photo where it's like I think you've seen it. It's like the dude, he's like shirtless and he has like the lighter.
Yeah.
And it's like blue. And at least for that one, the original picture was like green. But then like I was up at like 3 a.m. one night editing all like the pictures and I was just like, I want to make it blue. I feel like it would bring about like the right emotion. Like it would feel like it would come off a lot deeper to people if it was like a blue. And I did it. I was like, this is an amazing. I'm happy I did this. Like, cause I could have kept it green. It would have been cool, but I felt like changing it blue just changed it and just added so much to it, even though it was such a simple change.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what software is that?
I either use Lightroom or I use Photoshop or I use Capture One. I'm trying to learn how to use more Capture One these days, just because Capture One is just it's like Lightroom on crack. Like it will bring you the best. Like it's all the stuff that Lightroom has. It has it, but like you can do even it's just one of those things. That once you get good at it, you really are good, and then you could. It's just a lot easier to handle and just to work around once you get good at it. But honestly, I really have to sit down with it to really. I really have to take one day and just sit down and just yo, I'm gonna learn how to use everything on Capture One. But for right now, a lot of the editing I do is on Lightroom.
Yeah. Is it easy to learn those programs?
Honestly, it's a lot of you just playing around with it.
Yeah.
But also just
trial and error,
and just YouTube. That's really what it is. You kind of just trial and error. A lot of it is trial and error. It's just and then even so, you might have a photo that you taken years ago and you edited it. Then you go back to it and you're oh, I'm I'm better at this editing stuff now. I can go back to it and make a whole and change it up and edit it a whole different way.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I like that.
Mm-hmm. After you establish that you want to be a photographer, what's the next step?
Honestly, it's then you have to realize what it is that you want to shoot.
Yeah.
Some people, there are some people who want to do editorial stuff. That's what I really want to do at the end. I want to be commissioned to do edit commercial shoots or even the things I base. Honestly, I've one thing I have to remind myself is I am doing exactly what I am that I want to do. So I always keep forgetting that I'm always saying I want to do, but I'm actually already doing it. But it's but the thing is, the ultimate goal is just for me to only just get commissioned to do either commercial shoots or editorial shoots or just stuff for artists who for music artists, just because I love music, so it's just when I get to meet these artists, they always show me the music before it's dropped, so I can get the idea of what they want for the shoot. And just that's what I like. It's just very fun. I get to make all these new connections off of that. So I really am appreciative of when these artists come to me, be yo, can you help me bring this idea to life? And I'm just of course. And every time it's just been it's just been I've just hit I've just executed it even the idea, but even more. So that's what I want to do. But there are other people out there who are wildlife photographers. Them motherfuckers, they make bank. Oh my god, they will fly you out to a jungle, and they'll pay you 40 bands to take pictures of a cheetah. That shit is crazy. That shit is insane to me. But it's where I think it's really just once you decide you want to be a photographer, you just have to realize what it is that you want to shoot, and if you want to make it professional or not.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, because the thing at the end of the day is photography is cool. It really is a hobby, but if you want to do it more, it is not every time you do a hobby does not mean you have to make it professional. You can just do it to do it, and and I think that a lot of people do forget that. I think a lot of that is due to just social media and just all that other shit. So it's just but at the end of the day, you can really just do it as a hobby, and you can just be content. But that's what any other thing that you do. If you want to do this as a hobby, then you can.
Yeah. What do you prefer more, film or digital?
Film is cool because when I was shooting just digital, I was doing shoots, but I was taking hundreds and hundreds of shots. Film, it will teach you to be a lot more intentional with your shots. So it's for film cameras, it's you only have a certain amount of pictures per roll, depending on what camera they use. The one I like to use is this one medium format camera I have is 10 shots per roll, and like a lot of the times I will hit up my friends for like a shoot, and like I'll shoot only one roll. I shoot 10 pictures and that's it, and the shoot would be like a 20-minute shoot. Yeah, and then they're out. But then those 10 pictures, those 10 pictures are probably like probably 10 of the best pictures that you'll probably ever see. And then like because I've taught myself to be intentional every shot, because I'm like, do I want this shot?
Because you don't want to waste anything.
Yeah, I don't want to waste anything, you know. But then also when I go back to digital, I take less pictures now because of it. I'm so intentional with all those shots. I go back to the digital. I'm taking, instead of doing a shoot where I'm taking like 300 photos, I go into a shoot, I take like 75 photos. Yeah, and that's amazing to me. Plus, honestly, when it comes to film, I don't have to edit as much. So like, because the thing is, the color is already in the film. You just have to shoot it, and then depending on the lighting and stuff like that, that like decides like how much editing really goes into all of it.
Yeah,
you know. So it's nice. But I love film. I like, if I could only shoot film, I would shoot film. But like, not everyone wants me to shoot film all the time, which is understandable, because not everyone just is like, oh, I have to wait to see the photos. They're like, nah, that's crazy. I'm like, I understand, but like, but just trust me, I got you, and it'll be fire. So yeah.
Yeah, this is the going, you know, just to speak further on film. You know, with film, unless you have an endless amount of rolls, you have a limited amount of chances to get it right. You know, well, right, whatever that means. Does that pressure of knowing that you don't have many rolls to waste, I guess you kind of answered that in a weird way, push you to put out your best work?
Honestly, yeah, because like, because no, like for example, if I have a shoot, I remember when we did our shoot, I only did 2 rolls, so I was like, all right, we're walking around, but I have to make sure that these 2 rolls I'm going to shoot with you are going to be like, these shots I'm going to take, they're going to be good shots. And so like if I don't like a shot, I'm like, before I take it, I'm like, all right, we're not going to do this shot. I have to like really think about if I really want to do this shot or not. Because also film is expensive, man. It's only getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those things where just like, because film was like the original, like, but you know how everything kind of just recycles back around anyways. But so people are shooting a lot more, like in the past couple of years, and also a lot of things is just like celebrities. The thing I hate when it comes to film and film cameras is, you might see a celebrity at one of those like award shows. They might bring a little film camera with them, which was like in like early like 2000s, like $300. Bro, it's like $2,000 today. Like that's just insane, because you saw someone brought like a film camera to like the Met Gala. I'm like, bro, that is insane to me. Like, yo, if it like it just blows my mind how like how one person's like influence can raise a price of something like that. That shit's crazy to me.
A person who's not even like in that world.
Who's not even in that world like that. Like they're just famous. And that's the thing like with famous people. That's just crazy to me. Like, and like, I mean, I don't hate them. Like I get it. Like this is just you and your brand. But like your brand should not be the reason why I'm paying this much money off like a camera. I remember a couple years ago, I think it was Zendaya. I'm not too sure. It was either Zendaya or one of the Jenners. They brought like a camera, this like point and shoot camera. It's called like a Contax G2. Bro, I remember seeing the photo. I remember seeing like the photo in the picture. I seen that, I was like, that's just gonna go up. I'm so sick. Like, and that's exactly what it did. That shit went from like $800 to like almost $2,000. I'm like, this shit's insane. Like, it just made me sick. But yeah, man, I love film, man. Just because you have to be intentional, because you have to, at the end of the day, you realize how expensive film really is. Yeah.
So you probably just can't even look at a picture like a normal person now. Like you just probably look at a photo and you always thinking about, is it film or is it digital?
Honestly, it just depends, because I feel like at least the film cameras, like one of the film cameras that I have that I use a lot, it was like the camera that they used in like the 90s and like 80s for like all those editorial magazine shoots. So it's just like in a lot of that time, and like nowadays, a lot of it just went through editing. You can make your photos look like film, but I feel like there are certain cameras, film cameras that can only give you like a film look. They can't.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. So it's like you can't even really like some pictures. You're like, all right, that's definitely film. There's no if ands about that. But like some digital film camera, some digital pictures, you might not know if it's film or not, just because technology is so enhanced nowadays that you just would not know. But like there's certain times I look at a picture and I'm like, oh, that's film. Or as digital. And sometimes I just do not know because depending on the photographer, if I know them, I know that they have both film cameras and they have a film camera and a digital camera, and just like you just don't know just based off the person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you believe in there being a right or wrong shot?
Honestly, no, and like yes, I would say.
I feel like there were some wrong shots.
It just depends because what you might think is wrong, the person you're shooting might think it's right. Like I could be like, oh, this is not my favorite photo. Person's like, yo, this is fire. Yeah. Like I'm just like, okay, like whatever, and they'll want it. Like there's certain times where it's just like to the person they might not like the shot, but I think it's an amazing shot. There's one shot I took of somebody, and like. And it's just like I just never got that type of picture before, and he's like, "It's all right. I don't really like it too much." But I looked at that, I was like, "This is crazy. Like this is like one of the best things I've ever shot." But he was just happy that I liked it. So that's why he was just like, "All right, if you like it, then I think it's a good shot too." I'm like, "That's crazy," but yeah, I think it just depends on the person if they like it or not.
Yeah.
But there are some shots where there are some atrocious pictures out there. I'm just like, yo, you damn that. I've seen some pictures from some photographers. I'm like, yo, maybe photography isn't for everybody. You know, like I'm just like, and I get it, like, cause some like people have a certain style, but some of these styles are terrible. Yeah. Like I remember there is this one woman who shoots for Vogue, like USA sometimes. Yeah. I forgot her name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But
yeah, I feel like when we had our shoot, I had some bad shots.
Exactly. Like that's the thing is you will get some good shots and you will have some bad shots. Yeah. But it's only what matters is the shots that you like. And that's the thing is like I always want to get the if there are gonna be bad shots, there has to be more good shots than there are bad shots because that's the only way it's gonna make me feel better. Mm-hmm. I think this one for talk, I think her name's like Anna Winter or whatever, but she is like
that's the editor
for editor for like Vogue or something.
She's the editor, editor in chief of Condé Nast.
Oh yeah, okay, but it's like
Condé Nast.
Yeah, but I think she like shot something like some of her photos are just like. So like, like it's just like I'm like you could do so much better, but I think that's just your style, but it's just personally not my preference. But then if you go to like the Vogue, like British Vogue, or you go like Vogue in like Japan, or like they be bodying every shoot, all their shoes are just so well thought out and just so out of this world. I be seeing like Vogue India, and I'm like, that's it right there. Like you guys did it. Like I'm just like I'm like this woman needs to retire and let one of them take her spot because they know what they're doing over there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like even the photographer who shot Beyonce's last photos just recently.
It's like British Vogue, right?
British Vogue. Yeah. Man. Every time I look at them, I'm like, yeah. Like you know exactly what you're doing. Mm. Like. So it's just like it just really depends on the photographer. Everyone has like their different styles, but some styles just might not sit right with you, but they might sit right with other people. But Jesus, but that's whatever.
Yeah, we all know the cliche: a picture is worth 1,000 words. Obviously it's not to be taken literally, but there is a slight truth to that cliche. Mm-hmm. Or is there a slight truth to that cliche in your eyes?
Honestly, I gotta get better with that. I'm not gonna lie with you, because I will definitely admit I'm not the best with words when it comes to describing pieces. I have a friend, and I will show her, like, because that's not, when I do schoolwork, I like to show some of my friends, right, to see how they like, what they might like it, how, what they feel like. I have one friend. Every photo I send her, like each photo, she can give me like a paragraph of why she thinks it's amazing. I'm just like, girl, I could just tell you like a sentence of why I think this is cool. Like, this is crazy. Like, I think it's just like, I think it also just depends on the person too. Like, yeah, like but the thing is, there are certain things where I shoot where I'm just like, there's a reason why I shot this, and I can give you like a whole backstory and like, or why I shot it. But there are certain things where I see certain pictures, I'm just like, oh, I think it's just really cool. Or like, I have never really been the one to like look at a photo and just be why it's making me feel a certain way. I'm just like, oh, this shit's really cool. That's really it. But I think if it comes to that, I really just have to sit down with the photo for a while to be like, oh, like, is this really making me feel like all these emotions, all this, like, what am I really seeing when I look at the. So yeah, I think it really does depend on the person. But there are certain photos where you see, well, you can just see it and you can just be like, yo, I can give you like a book of why this photo is so amazing. Yeah, like that. Honestly, I feel like if you can see that, that really just proves how good the photographer is to make people see it and they're just like in awe of it. Like, yo, how did they do this? Like, what lighting did they use? Like, what was the whole idea behind this? Like, that's just crazy. If you can do that with every photo, I feel like you're like a like top tier photographer. Yeah, amazing.
What are your favorite kinds of shoots?
Honestly, my favorite shoots are the ones where they're so simple, but they look amazing. Cause I feel like for me, a lot of my a lot of my work, especially, like, I feel like at the end of the day, when I look at it, it's like very simple. Cause it's just like a lot of times it'd be like, oh, like one background. It's like a simple background and then like a simple fit. But it's just like depending on, it's just like the colors. That's also back to your earlier like question about why like my colors are away, is because a lot of my shoes are simple. It's like if they're gonna be that simple, then the colors have to pop to make it look even better. Like, yeah. So there might be like the color palette might be like 3 or 4 different things, but like I will make sure it will be amazing, like, to look at still. So yeah, but I like those simple shoots. I love as of late. I've been trying to do like a more like high fashion stuff like that, because I just think that's so cool. And just like I've just been like at a place where like I really want to think about what it is I'm shooting and like what the ideas I'm coming across. Just because like yeah, it's just like like you just, when you do certain things, so when you do all these things so much, you just like you just want to do more. Yeah, and I want to do more. I don't want to keep doing more simple things. I want to do things that are just like so extravagant. I just want to just elevate in that sense, Yeah. So yeah, like as like all of June, I didn't shoot anything creative. If I shot anything, it was just like something like paid, like I knew I was going to get paid from. I didn't really care for it, but like I've other than that, I've been taking a little hiatus myself. I have a shoot I'm gonna do in like a couple weeks, just with my friends. I've been planning for like a week and a half now, but like I'm finally like getting it together. All I need is just like make sure I get like the studio for it, and I'm good. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely like, I like simple shoots. I love like something extravagant, like even like when I was doing the Beyonce shoot. That shoot is just so amazing. Like, because the thing is, I just know like the process, because it's just because I've assisted a shoot like that where it's just like there's mad fits, there's mad shoes, there's all these options, and just like, and the thing is, for like editorial shoots, yo, you could take so many pictures, but they're really gonna choose like 4 or 5 photos out of like the hundreds of photos that you've taken. And I'm just like, and that's just so funny. That's just like so cool to me, because it's everything took so much time, and it's just like I like to see like the outcomes of those like, types of shoots. So yeah, those are my favorite types of shoots.
Yeah. Do you ever feel challenged sometimes when you're taking a shoot, when you're on a certain shoot, or when you shooting some people?
The only time I feel challenged, it just depends on like who the person I'm working with. There's definitely been some shoots where like I thought I was gonna have a calm time, but then I'm working with like a person that's just like so hard to work with. Like I'm just like, all right, like you're just like, and the thing is, I get it, but also I think some people like I think they might be able to do a little bit too much. Like for me, like I remember I did a shoot with some person, and they at first talking to them was fine, like doing a shoot, but then I think when we were doing the shoot, I think they expected more. But the thing is, I laid out in front of them what they were gonna get and just like the whole process. But I don't know. But during the shoot, there was just like the expectations. Disconnect. Yeah, there was just a disconnect, and it's like it was difficult. But I still got the fire shots and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it's just when it comes to certain shoots, I think it just depends on the person I'm working with, because some people are just hard to work with. That's really what it is. Yeah. So yeah, but my thing is like, I still think even though you're hard to work with, I still think we can come to like a common ground. Yeah. And make this work. You know. Yeah. So yeah.
So you don't think everybody's a lost cause?
No, not everyone's a lost cause. Yeah. There's some people who are like, there's some people I would definitely never work with again. Yeah. Because they're just like, I remember doing this shoot with this one guy, and I remember when I did the shoot with him, it was just a whole bunch of just like like how many shots was he gonna get for this certain amount he had a budget. I was like, where his budget was, I was way past that in my career by then. So I was just like, you know what, I've known you for some time, so I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll come to this price. But then he wanted more for what he was like he was gonna get, and I mean, for what he was gonna give me. But then he was like flaunting off, like telling me certain things where just like during the shoot where he has spent money on. And I'm just like, bro, you're complaining about me. You're complaining about the shoot, like how much you're paying for the shoot. Like I remembered that. But then like he told me how much he spent on like a feature for somebody. I was like, that is insane. But you're complaining about this shoot, like how much is this price? But it's just like and then during the shoot, certain things came off kind of disrespectful to me, like how you're kind of just like questioning how I charge and stuff like that. But I'm like, bro, like but it was just like certain people, it's just like they're so difficult to work with. I know I will never work with them again. Yeah. But certain people, it's like I feel like you were difficult to work with, but we still came out with fire. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody has their level of tolerance of difficulty that they'll deal with. I just want to go back to you speaking about shooting, like fashion, high-end fashion. You did say you have a love for fashion. How would you approach a shoot with, say a Vogue or a Vanity Fair?
Honestly, so from what I know about those types of shoots, they come to you really. Yeah. But I feel like if you're trying to do those type of shoots, if you're just like on like a creating for your own, when you just have to make sure you just have to make sure you get the idea down, and just like if you have to realize who do you want to be the model, if they fit the idea, how many outfits you want to do, and the main important thing is the stylist, and make sure they can help you get the idea down, or if like the makeup artist, if they can help you. It's just all the other like those other factors. Because the thing is, you could shoot something cool, but like the makeup artist, the stylist, they are the people who really make that shoot, because they are the ones putting in that hard work to get all the pieces that you need just to make that shoot happen. Like they're like how rappers need the producers. like because
We need an engineer
yeah,
to make
the
them sound
engineer,
good.
yeah, like they need the engineer to make them sound good because like people be thinking like I start thinking is I love music, but some of these artists think like they can do this by themselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, no, like you do not sound good without that engineer's help. I promise you that right now. Like remember seeing that whole verses with like Omarion and like
Yeah,
yeah, like
people realize that Omarion not really.
he not really like that.
He's not really like that.
like bro, like a lot of them people, they do not sound good live, man. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all sound good on them records because them engineers make y'all sound amazing. Like some of y'all do not sound good live. So like the same thing when it comes to like photography for me personally. I feel like I could shoot an amazing like a cool idea, but like I can't get like the absolute best product unless I tap in with the people like the stylist, the hairstylist, the makeup artist, or like especially the model themselves. Like you need the model is the main subject anyways, and like you just have to make sure you're all on the same page and just to make sure that idea comes across. And that's why, like I said, like I wanted to be more intentional with all like my shoots. So like even like the shoots I'm planning, like I'm instead of like doing them in like a week, I'm planning. I might take like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks just to plan it out, just because I want it to come out the best way as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How much? Well, because going back to our shoot, I chose the locations, but how involved are you in picking locations for shoots?
It depends because if it's a studio shoot, then like I personally right now I'm like, I have access to a photo studio, so it's like it's been cool. So it's been like really cool for me. But in terms of like outdoor shoots, it's really just like if someone really asks me, I could tell them of a place I know. I could look it up for them. But for the most part, a lot of people do have the idea of where they want me to shoot them. So like that's also been nice. But like other times, if it really comes down to it, then I can go scout. Like I will charge because like you want me to go out of my way to go scout for you. But yeah, I can do that.
Where do you how do you come up with prices?
Prices, oh man, it's been a journey on that. I think a lot when it comes to prices. I'm not gonna lie with you. Even now, I still feel like I could be charging more because I say I could be charging more because I've done shoots for people where they're like, bro, the work that you're giving me you should definitely be charging more. Yeah. But it's just also I think it's just like a personal thing where it's just like where you as the artist have to know your worth and just have to recognize like, oh, you deserve to be paid this much for your efforts, I think it's just like, and that's just like a thing I'm always just trying to realize, like, oh, is this too much or is this too little? Because like I think it's like one thing I have definitely struggled with is in this career is just like realizing I'm like, oh, me raising this price, will I still get like clients? But then people have told me, and they were like, one just like helped reassure me, like, yo, you're actually you should still be charging more. But also they were like, yo, your work it speaks for itself. So it's just like and even so, if there are people who won't get it, who won't buy it, who won't like hire you because of it, there are definitely people who will pay you for your price because they know they see it and they're like, yeah, I don't care the price, I just want that product. So I just want that end product. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, and I've definitely still am like learning it, but like as of right now, it's definitely like I've been getting more people hitting me up for like certain things, not charging the price, and they're like, bet, they're not questioning it, and they're just like, all right, I'll pay you that, perfect. Yeah, I'm like, but then also that makes me realize I'm like, okay, I'm definitely charging too low because I remember I shot something like a couple months ago, and I thought this price was like it was one of the first time I charged like a high price like I did, and then the person said like, all right, deal, no, there was no
negotiation or anything.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, I should have done more. Yeah, I should have done more. So, but yeah, I will definitely say that it's definitely a learning process.
The work does speak for itself, though. I definitely agree with that because, if I really need something done badly, you need a haircut. You know, there's mad different apps to find barbers. And you looking at their portfolio and you looking at how good the haircuts are, but you like, damn, it's $50. Like,
$50, jeez.
but you know, you want that.
You want that,
You
bro.
want to look
listen,
like that. So it's the same thing.
That's the thing is, if I'm paying $50 for a cut, that's gonna be the best cut I ever got.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What are your favorite kinds of shoots?
Editorials, editorial shoots, or just like creative shoots. The creative shoots are cool because it really, because it just really, it makes me like think. It really it challenges me to be like, oh, like how am I gonna give you this idea that you want? Like it's like, oh, I might have to rent out some equipment to do it, or I might have to just like go into like learn something off of YouTube just to be I can do this. And like it also just inspires me. Like if I do a shoot that's like that someone hired me to do, and like now it's gonna last with me even longer because I'm like, oh, like now I know I can shoot something like that. Let me see what I can do further, you know. So I do like creative shoots.
Yeah. Could you? Oh no, you know, I don't know if you're comfortable doing this, but just go a little further into just some horror stories that you might have experienced in different shoots you had with models.
Models? Oh yeah. So basically, the ones I told you earlier, there was this one, there was this one, the shoot. Like I said, the guy who I was doing the shoot, like just more in detail with it, is like his budget was like $300, and I was like, I don't want to do that. But like I was like, I've known you for a minute, and like it was one of those things where, I knew him for a minute, and we were always trying to shoot but it just never worked out. But by then, like I was like, all right, we could finally shoot. And this time around, because before I wasn't charging because that's when I just moved here.
Yeah.
But like by then now, like I'm fast forward to where I was when he asked for a shoot. I'm like, all right, I can't give you a free shoot because I got bills.
Yeah.
But I was like, but he gave me that price, and I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll do it. But then he was at like what I offered, he kind of wanted more. He said, I feel like I can get a little bit more and stuff like that. I'm paying like this much money. I'm just like, that's really not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then when we were doing the shoot, it's just like during the shoot, he was just like, yeah, like I was telling him how like I'm working like right now because the end goal is just to be doing photography, like but then like right now I'm working like 2 jobs. So I'm working a part-time job and I'm doing photography full time. But the part-time job is like how I be using to pay like my rent and stuff like that. But yeah, and then like he like made like a slick comment, which probably wasn't crazy to him, but like I heard it, I was like, that's kind of insane that you said that. But he said, yeah, like I think it's good that you work like part times, like so you don't have to charge these like crazy prices. I'm like $300 is crazy to you? Like, but then like later in the shoot, he showed me a feature that he got with somebody, and the amount of money that he paid for that shoot, my nigga paid a salary. Like I was just like, wow. I was like, he paid for the feature is crazy to me. I'm like, you're complaining about this $300 shoot.
Yeah.
But like you just paid that much. I was like, bro, that's annoying. And then after that shoot, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was just like, I'll definitely never do a shoot with you again. Yeah. And just like, I was like, yeah, bro, you're weird. And then I finally I remember one day, because my friend assisted with me on that shoot one day. And after the shoot, I kind of unfollowed man because I'm like, I kind of just don't want contact with you. And then my friend sent me a picture of like the shot, the shoot that he put on of the shoot, and then like he didn't tag any of us or anything. Kind of just like I was like, that's crazy. And honestly, I got to a point where I don't really care if people like tag me or not. But I was like, you put me through so much stress just to not tag me. I'm like, you're annoying as hell for that. But yeah, like that's definitely like the main horror story. I'm like, I'm definitely never working with that person again. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh my God. And then yeah, that's really like the main horror story.
Mm-hmm. What stories are you telling with your photos?
Honestly, for the stories I shoot for people who ask me to shoot, want me to shoot for them, I usually tell them the story that they want shot. But for the stories for me personally, when I do my creative shoots, it's more so just like certain like emotional baggage I'm just trying to get off. Like it's just like, oh, I'm feeling like, I feel like there's like a weight on my shoulders with certain emotions I just need to get off. I feel like I can best tell them through like photography.
Yeah.
So like I might do a shoot where it's just like like I can, for example, going back to that one shoot with the blue. I remember when I shot the shoot, I think I was just like emotionally in a place like where I was just like going through like feeling a whole bunch of emotions, and I just did not know how to like express it.
Yeah.
And so when I did the shoot and like and I shot it and it came out the way it did, where it was like all the blue around surrounding, like it was just like, for me when I looked at it, it was like him having like the highlights of his body were a blue, was like him, the emotions, just him, it just being all out on his, like he's wearing it on his sleeve, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it just like for me it was a lot, like I was struggling to like either come to terms with the emotions or just express them, and so I did it through that. I was just like, that's how it felt. And I was just like, okay. And when I did it and I shared it with everybody, I was like, I felt like a release. I felt like a whole lot better. And so just like when I do creative shoots like that, it's just really so I can just, I feel like an easier way for me to like get my emotions across, you know? So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what stories have you told? I guess it's the same question in a way. I mean, what stories have you told thus far in your personal work? Has it just all been emotional?
It's been emotional, but also just like I will definitely say that I've hit up friends who I can shoot. I've shot for them, where it's just like I might want to shoot like a couple, just because like I want to shoot like just like how, like for example, like how I think, how I view love or something like that. Or like I definitely, this more I still want to shoot like when it comes to like incorporating certain like families, even my own family.
Yeah.
It's just like how I think like certain like how I would like to have like my own family one day, how I would like to, how like us to all bond together, like just like certain things like that. There's still a lot of stories I want to shoot one day, but like a lot of the stories I've shot are like just like emotional sides of me, or just like that I shot just because like I was in a certain place where I was feeling stagnant in my life and like my career, or I just like, if I feel like if I shoot this, it would make me feel a lot better, and just make me feel like, oh, like I am actually in the right direction, and this like, yeah, and so like that's really what it is.
Yeah. Where do you want photography to take you?
Shoot, man. Honestly, that's a good question. I wanted to take just where I just to get me to a point where I can look back and I'm just like really proud of myself. Like just look back and like I did so much, and I could just be content with it all, because there's so much I want to do. But like I feel I've done so much personally, I feel, but I've also did so much I want to do. I want to get to a point where I'm just where I feel like I'm just content with it all. Like this part, like there, I want to shoot like certain like campaigns. I want to get in certain magazines. I want to be able to one day sit down and give back to the community in any way I can. Like I want to help like the next generation of artists in any way I can. Like I want to do like stuff like that. I just want to be able to give. Mainly, I want to be able to give back, because I knew that like me doing photography was just like at least for my family, it was something out of the blue. And so like, and I just know that like not everybody feels like they can do it. So I want to be able to show people that you can do it. And I just want to be able to help that one person to be like, yo, I don't know how to do, I don't know if I can, and I don't know how to start. I want to let them know how they can start, and just like to think about what it is that they want to to do with like the whole like with photography. If photography is what they want to do, like even if like they don't do photography and my words can help them out in any way I can help out, I'll do that.
So you want to create like some kind of incubation, like for aspiring photographers.
Even like give back to like a community center. Like there's a back in my hometown. There's this place, community center. It's called like Raw Arts. It's like for like art, like emerging artists and stuff like that. And they always do like these projects around the city, and just like, and a lot of the time it's like you see like a lot of filmmakers come out of there, or you just like a lot of painters, or just like other just forms of artists come out of that, like that community, that space. And I want to either one day have, if I get the funds enough, I would love to do one for my own, like start like a whole program like that. Or like I just like wherever I'm at, I might just like contribute to whatever community that's already there and just help out any way I can. I know the one back in Lynn, I'm trying to get connected and just like help out any way I can. See if I can talk to like do any talking to like any of like the up and coming artists. Just because I'm like, you know what, like I feel like my words might help somebody.
Yeah. And they look at you as an inspiration as well. Yeah. You're coming back and they see you in a big city doing your thing, and then you come back and, you know, give back.
That's definitely one thing, because I think I was one of the old. I used to work at the YMCA for like years. But one of the my old coworkers, I told him I was moving to New York. He said that's good, but he said, yeah, but do you think you're ever gonna come back one day just to come back one day? I was like, I'll come back one day. I won't stay, but like I will. Like there's a reason I left. But he said that but he made a good point. He said it is good to come back just to like, because this is where you're from.
Yeah.
Which is true. Like I would come back just to like help out, because I'm just like, this is the place that like made me into like the person I am today. So I want to help out any way I can. So I think that's it's always important to give back to the community that raised you.
Of course.
So I'm definitely going to give back any way I can. I like even if I get the funds, I'll do like I'll help fund like a scholarship or stuff like that. Like any way I can, I'll do it.
Yeah. And what would Nehemiah Brent like to tell all the aspiring photographers out there?
Man, I just want to tell y'all can do it, bro. Like it's like, I think it's one of those things that you just have, like, when it comes to art, you have to just do it and realize, like, you will feel a lot better about yourself if you just at least go for it. If you fail, it is okay. Yeah. Because I think people are always obviously failure is a very hard thing to accept and like to go through. But I feel like if you fail, at least you know you did it.
Failure's not always a failure.
Yeah, failure's not really always a failure, because like that failure might actually show you what you actually like to do. Yeah. Like you might not like doing photography, or like you might like becoming like a painter. You might do like styling, like or something like that, or you might do something that's so out of the direction of what it is that you said you like doing. So I think you should just try it. And if you fail, it is okay. It's as long as you tried and gave it your best shot. But you should definitely go for it. You should definitely go pick up your choice of like whatever the medium you're trying to do, and just try it and just see where it takes you. You know, like, and then also definitely find your community. Like also like find people who have the same ideas, like to line up with yours. Yeah. So the thing is, you might find a person that might become a business partner, and that business partner helped you take you to where like these unseen heights. And you're like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, so I just like find good people, just be genuine with it, and just like, and just take what life gives you. Mm-hmm. Just be like, for example, just because you want something does not mean you're gonna get it. You might get something that's even better. Yeah. You know, like you might something that's even better. You just never expected it, because you're just like, you are so focused on this one thing. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just like, just like take that, just like, try your best, man, and just see where it takes you.
Yeah. And what's next for you?
What's next for me? Damn. What's next for me is there are definitely, I will definitely say, like I'm like super confident in within the next year, I will definitely at one point just only be doing photography.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get like those bigger shoots that are like paying me a lot more, and I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like, so thank you, man. I'm starting to get those shoots that are paying me a lot more. It's just like I will definitely not need to do like my little part time job,
Yeah.
but also I will. It's just like inspiring me to like to one, invest in myself, get better equipment for myself, and just like so I can do bigger shoots, bigger theme shoots, and like really think about what it is I want to do. Um, I would definitely say like I would love to be in like certain magazines, but like that will happen when it happens. I'm in no rush. I'm very excited to see the people who I shoot, who I just like work with or just make all these connections with. I'm excited to see like all that where it's gonna take me.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Because that one person I might meet might take me to like who like that bond I might form with someone might take me to like someplace I'm just never expected to be. So yeah, so I'm just like taking it as it is and just like I'm excited to see where this journey takes me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And my last question, although you're a photographer, and going back to the cliche, a picture's worth 1,000 words, why do words matter to you?
Ooh. That's good.
You know, in relation to photography, if that makes sense.
Give me a second. Why do words matter to me? Honestly, you remember that one of those songs on like Kendrick's albums that he just dropped? I think it was Auntie's Diaries.
Yeah.
He was like at one point he was like, oh, words used to like never really mean anything. They were just kind of like sounds. Like honestly, I used to like think like that. Like I would just be like words and like they're just words. They're like but then I think as I've gotten older, like I've just been realizing how impactful words are, and just like, and especially when it comes to like my photography. So just like hearing how they describe my work, it really does mean a lot to me, because I think it kind of also opens up how I view my work, because I'm just like, I actually never thought about I've never actually thought about that about my work. Or some people have seen my work and they've just been, I've seen like one person, like they globally kind of teared up when they see it. I was like, because I think of just like something that happened and like it just to them, and it kind of just brought them back to that time. So I'm just like, and so they were telling it to me, and it's just like, you're saying all these words, I'm just like, this is so kind. Like this is so nice to hear. Like I'm just like, so it just made me like realize like I have to like, when it comes to my own work, I have to really sit down with it and just like, what does it mean to me now? Like, since I even seeing all these people, what they see when they see my work, what does it really mean to me when I see my work? You know, what words can what can I say about it? So yeah, so it's very important. Like what words, like, because it really just, the words really make or break, could really make or break the photo. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, just the communication too, as well. Like when you're, in the middle of the shoot, how certain things are conveyed, and even giving people direction. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Ah, man. But yeah, man. It's just it's definitely that too. Just like when we're doing like, I'm just like thinking about the shoots I've done, and just like middle of the shoots, and we're trying to get like these certain shots, and like we just know that like we're like on the same level, and we're just like, we just know the shot we're gonna take is just gonna be that shot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, yeah, but we just know, and it's just like, because we know when we take that shot how it's gonna be, like how everyone's gonna see it and how they're gonna feel. So it's just like, it's amazing. Like I one of my favorite shots I've ever shot is just one of my friend James. He we shot, it was him. We were in LES, like a skate park, and he had a skateboard, and he had like his tank top halfway off, and we were just under the bridge, and there's like someone skating in the background, but like they're all blurred out. But it's just like, it's one of my favorite shots, just because like, for me personally, I always like skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like, but I cannot skateboard. I just like the culture of it. But like I every time I see it, I'm just like, I feel like if I could skateboard, like I would go to this picture and just be like, this is like the type of skateboard I would like to be. Like like it's just I see it. I'm just like, this is like perfect to me. This is how I when I see skateboarding, I see this. Yeah, like I see this. Like so it's just like one of those. If like my favorite shots, I'm just like, wow. It's just like it. Like through that shot, I could see how much work my friend has put in to like become the skateboard he is now.
Yeah.
But just like it also for me, just like I just see how far I got in my work to be able to produce this like quality of shot.
Yeah.
So definitely.
All right, man. Thank you, Nehemiah Brent, once again for coming here and being a part of this, allowing me to interview you. Thank you for shooting me for my website.
Course,
that was almost a year ago, or it might have been a year ago now.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you, bro. Like you're really about
Thank you.
You're about to be on the come up yourself. You're already on the come up. You're putting in the work. Like, and I definitely cannot wait to see where this takes you at, because I know that you are going to leave this wonderful city soon. So I definitely can't wait to see where life takes you, and just to see all the other podcasts that you do, all these amazing people, and just to see where that takes you, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy for you too and all your success. I see you elevating. I see you on the gram. I see you, on billboards. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to even ask about that question, man. How that even happened with that?
The Billboard thing, basically, the first one at least, what happened is just like the dude I shot, I reached. So yeah, actually goes back to like 2016 when I first decided I wanted to become a photographer. I was like looking for people to follow because I was like, oh, who inspires me? And one of the people, his name was David Peters. At that time, I guess he had just started taking pictures for Dreamville, and so I followed him for like all this time. But then like last year, he followed me back on Instagram. It was like after like 5 years, he followed me back. And then like by then, he like was already like, he had done all the stuff he was doing, but then now he was like managing this one artist. His name is Mike Dimes. And Mike Dimes is this artist from Texas. And he was like on the come up. And I was hearing his music. And I was like, yo, this is fire. And so I reached out to the manager. I was like, yo, I would like to shoot your artist one day. I was like, because I knew that I had a feeling that the manager lived in Brooklyn, and so I was like, yo, I have a studio space in Brooklyn. I would love to shoot your artist one day. And he was like, yo, that actually works out perfectly because we do need promo shots for him. And so like one day he was like, yo, my artist is in town. I'll do a quick shoot. The shoot lasted like 30 minutes. It was so quick. But the thing is, those was one of the funnest 30 minutes I've ever had. But then because of that, like one day they were like, yo, the pictures actually are going to be used for this. And I seen it on the Billboard one day. I went to see it in person with my girl one day, and I was like, yo, this is insane. Like seeing my work up there. That was the first one, and like just because of that, I formed like a good bond with them, and they like it helped me. I like every time Mike is in town, I always like I'm like, oh, yo, I'm gonna go find a way to go see Mike, because like he's a cool dude. And like even with the manager, like even if there's anything he needs, I got him, because it's like he was a big inspiration when I first started out, but also he's just like a cool guy. Like he's a really cool guy. Like I just like being around him. It's like I kind of learned a lot, like just being around like those people. But the other one was this artist. Her name's Ombre. She's really originally from New Orleans, but she's in LA right now. She's an amazing singer. She's such a soulful artist, and she was coming. I shot her last year too. Yeah. But she was like visiting New York. She's like, "Yo, who wants to shoot?" And I put my name in there, and she was like, "Yeah, I definitely want to shoot with you." So I shot with her. And then like next thing you know, she was on this tour called like Femme It Forward, and she was on this tour with all these amazing women, and they like had one of the pictures I shot of her like on the Billboard, and I was like, that's perfect. I was like, this is amazing. She texted me and told me that shit, and I was like, it's amazing. So yeah, like I just love meeting all these artists because they're just so nice. they're just so nice to like meet, and also they're like you. They tell you
that's not the case for everybody.
Yeah, like at least the ones I've met, they're so nice. Like they're so and like they tell me their stories, and they show me new music, and I love that. I love hearing new music. That's like my favorite thing. So yeah. So that's really what the has been. I feel like there's gonna be another one coming one day, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, definitely, there definitely is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but for real, this time, we gotta wrap it up. Thank you, Nehemiah, for allowing me to interview you, and just continue success. I know the success will definitely continue. And for everybody watching this, man, sometimes I forget, sometimes I don't forget. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the Words Matter Network YouTube page. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Instagram, I'm saying Black Planet, all that. But thank you, and Words Matter.